Hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me clearly? Hi, Yolanda. Okay, awesome. Thanks for responding. Hello, Kosi. Nomfundo. Thank you, Yolanda. Hello, Fezzi. Just waving at you. Okay, we're just going to wait for more people to join, and then we'll start our live. But happy Workers' Day to everyone. Pretty sure you're enjoying this Friday away, a bit of a long weekend, so that's great. I think it's very important that we kind of remember the whole idea, the story behind Workers' Day, which is that it's a day that we commemorate the liberal movement, and we've gone on with fair labor practices now. And if it's the 21st century, it means more women with so much power, starting their own companies, being able to earn as much as the guys do. Although before that, it was just contesting those unfair labor practices that were there in the time of apartheid. So yeah, hello, Mushfiqohs here. I think I'll need to add her here. Just added Mushfiqoh. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Happy
See, I
Workers' Day.
happy Workers' Day to you too.
And I
So
hear it's Ramadan as well.
it is, and we miles apart. Seems to be our views are actually matching, eh?
Ah, yes. And we didn't plan this.
We did. You good, Rumbi?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us. I was just saying happy Workers' Day to others. And I think it's great that we have a long weekend, but it was just saying the story behind Workers' Day and why we kind of have it. So, yeah, I think I'm kind of done with that. And I was also saying hello to the people. But now I think we can get started. So let me just introduce you a bit. I have to bring my phone for this because I'm like amazing woman out here. So, hi everyone. So, this is Mushfiqah. She is the business director at Aspire Solutions, the founder of Honeycomb Network. Um, and your work experience varies across different industries like oil and gas, finance, business consulting, change transition management. And you've also been in IT for up to 16 years or over. And cool story about how I met Mushfika. I actually met her at the Women in ICT, where you were the panelist. And I thought it was really amazing because just after the event, we had a showcase of different people there, and Wamanda was one of the people, and Mushfika just came to us. And I thought it was really encouraging because your words were like, why do we need to reinvent the wheel when we are all able to help each other and be so resourceful, which I found very humble. Before I even knew you, I'd just seen you at the stage and they were saying all these amazing things about what you had done. So I was like, really, oh, this is really good. Yeah. So, Mush, tell us about yourself. I'm pretty sure I didn't do you justice.
It's not going to be anything in accolades or anything on that level. I think fundamentally the first thing, so being in ICT for almost 16 years. Yes, it does give a bit of my age away, but I'm getting to that stage in my life where I'm trying to embrace it, and I'm taking the experience that I've gained over the years, ensuring that it's right, and lessons learned or mistakes that you don't want people to make, ensuring that lessons, my journey can either inspire, can either encourage, or any just change your course, because if that's what you're willing or wanting to do, then go ahead and do it. And I think the one thing that I try and always get across in anything that I'm saying, or anything that I'm speaking about, is to encourage that you be true to yourself no matter what. I know
Yep.
there's the skills, I know there's life that happens around you. My position being, I have 3 daughters as well, who's at school, running a business, has kind of set a tone of a foundation about possibly 4 times in my life. Yes,
Mm.
but the perseverance and finding your will to believe in yourself more than anything else becomes the foundation of you achieving what.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So tell us more about your work with Aspire and the Honeycomb Network.
Okay, so from Aspire's side, Aspire is a custom development software house, right? And that is our core focus and core business, where it kind of goes hand in hand. It's based on the experience that I had over the years, where I had a company started as Evolve Management. And for about 4 years, I realized that the company name itself didn't do credibility as and who you are, you become your own brand. And that I was an implementation partner, that just broadening it for the sake of the viewers, the change and transition experience, project management. So within ICT, there are 2 sectors. It's the front facing and back facing. That would be the easiest way to put it. And as an implementation partner, it's ensuring people are able to do what they need to do with a system that's implemented. So Evolve Management and SI Solution being a development house, we partnered. So we crossed paths, and it was one of those factors where, when it's a goal that hits you out of nowhere, your goalpost is about 2 years away, and your opportunity right in front of you. It's a moment that it's unfounded. It's one of those factors where it just fits, and you feel that there's synergy. And Aspire and my business partner, Jane, we've partnered and broadened, and that's where Honeycomb came into play. So in 2017, it's actually quite a funny story. I was in the bathroom, I was half an hour late already for a meeting that I had. Luckily, it was informal, so it was okay to be late. And my phone was ringing. But you know what? Let me pick it up for the last time, thinking it was the same question that I get all the time. Mushfiqoh, I'm trying to do this. Do you possibly know somebody or have anybody maybe guide me, or somebody who can assist me with, and it became the same thing. I said, you know what? If you're available, I set up a meeting with 3 or 4 people. How it started. Honeycomb became the Honeycomb network, where the foundation was people who was able to assist each other and grow a network. So with launching in 2017, we were focused on SMEs trying to get their brand out there and trying to use platforms within, like Aspire, the digital space, to be able to aid business to either get a website up, sure that marketing material out there, my specialization in strategy, if they needed assistance in setting up their business plan, anything else, that assistance would be there. However, we find within the SME space that SMEs are, and I say this based on the fact that I was there myself, all you do is push your objective, your vision, trying to make sure that there's footprint and you're landing somewhere. And most importantly, I need to be making money. That is the end of survival. So it's in the scale of survival and the economical need within managing and starting a business. So that is key focus. So I decided, look, let's keep the network and now become part of an entity of Aspire. The Honeycomb network looks after things are broader within empowerment. So I took a step back with the fourth industrial and everyone going in the entrepreneurial realm, everyone looking in technology. Why not take a step back and harness the foundation in the youth, the ideas with the youth, the apps that we see days, and the way things are sparking, it's coming out where the youth has a voice. So let's empower them within that entrepreneurial space. So there are and the layers exist in this regard. Honeycomb is purely how can I assist you, where and when, right? Creating customizations management type of application where people are able to with people. Then we've got that focuses on empowerment. Okay? Rightly so, and I say this proudly. I am a woman of STEAM. I want to be. I said this a year ago. You are aware of this. We are going to sit and work out what we need to for the learners and coding workshops that we need to do. However, we are in our first year of our apprenticeship program with On the Ball College. We have selected three learners that we sponsor for a period of 3 years. So it's learners from grade 10 all the way through to grade 12. We sit and construct a course that suits a technology stack that keeps up to times. Within the Microsoft realm, what is it I can teach you on coding? What is it that you're looking at from a data design perspective? It's a 3-year program. It manipulates. So post 12, it takes them 6 months for them to achieve an NQF level 6, which if you look at it at the age of 18 to have your level 6 and go on to university with that type of foundation, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So I know that's not a nutshell, it's quite a mouthful, but that fundamentally is what Honeycomb is to Aspire. It's the Aspire Honeycomb Foundation.
Oh, nice. So I really like what you spoke into, so about empowerment and entrepreneurship and stuff. I'm wondering though, how would someone get in touch with Honeycomb? How would you get involved? So say I have a business idea. I'm not even sure if it's a viable business idea, and I actually want to make it into something that I can build a business from. Would you be able to assist in that? Is that the basis of what Honeycomb does?
So again, it's a platform for connection, right? We spoke about the foundation that they have. However, the Honeycomb Network is also involved with what you are speaking about, the First Lady Chamber, which is an incubation program that exists for people to ask the question, how do I go about incubation, allowing you with a foundation on how to set up a business. So we're still fulfilling 2 streams where FLC, First Lady Chamber, has a full program on how it's structured for the year, classes, courses that end with outcomes to ensure that that foundation is sound. So that's comes balanced in that realm. And if First Lady Chamber is not for you, there are elements like yourself within the Humandla realm, within the network of either people or companies or just as purely associates who are able to help those people. It is having the vision of, guys, let's come together and grow in competing. Take each other by the hand, support one another, and become solid within us.
Okay, that's amazing. I see why you call it a network. That's really cool. And I wanted to speak more into how you were saying you're proud of being a woman in STEAM. I think that's a very important thing. We haven't had a lot of women in in science and technology and engineering, in mathematics. And it's amazing that you're actually proud of it, and we want more people into that field. Can you maybe speak into how it is that we have quite a shortage, and your challenges that you've had to overcome as a woman in tech?
Yeah, so a woman in tech goes across women in STEAM all around, and I think the vital component on your struggle is, firstly, I'll start off positively and say push ahead on whatever it is you're willing to do, wanting to do, whether it be engineering, whether it be technology, whether it being something that stereotypical facade around it, saying that male-dominated industry. Oh, sorry, it's only a man that can do that. That is, and if anything, STEAM shows you that and gives you that foundation around. So challenges are much of the same. A lot of the times you challenge your inner strength, your inner, I'd say, your self-worth, and based on people around you. So you need to get to a point of building, finding a way of really thick skin. That's what it boils down. I've faced situations where I've sat around a boardroom where, and it's not pushing against male, because like I said, my business partner, my Stain, who is male, is my support structure. We're the yin to each other, yang when it comes to business. He supports me, but without him sitting around a table, I would be sitting with 20% quartile of men around the table. I give them my, and having a voice in space and having variables of generations, especially in tech. You'll have your specialist has 25 to 30 years experience, who's used to working within a certain platform and environment, which 30 years ago was not. So as a female, I come in, I have a voice, and I say, look, I disagree with you. You can see the resistance instantly. So you sit with the choice with, do I continue, and am I comfortable within my capability, and do I know what it is I want to get across and open my mouth, or do I sit back and say, you know what, it's okay? That becomes your thing. Your struggle within a position is exactly that of your struggle. People looking to fit into society, people stand up and wanting to be part of anything. Be unique, be you, and push is that you are wanting to achieve. So I can see challenges, but I just prefer, Rumbi, to just, get it across in a more positive way. I don't want it to become a form of this can be it and that can be it. Guys, if there's one that is a negative, sleep. Give it up, eh? Give it up. People, give it up.
Yeah. So being a woman in tech myself, I definitely understand what you're saying. And it hasn't been the easiest, but I think we've actually grown to a place where I've seen, even where I work, the women, they actually try to positively grow you, like mentor you into a position, and like there's now other women pulling other women up, and I think that's amazing. Which is the thing that I see now, and the other young girls and other women who actually want to get into those positions, they now have a support system. I mean, we're already there, we know how it is, and we're there to support them into the different roles. So I think it's less scary now. Before it was just it was a different story.
Walking into, that dark forest of some sort, but there's definitely a lot more light around us now.
Yeah, absolutely. So you spoke a bit about how we now have the fourth industrial revolution. I mean, we've been in it, but it's been highly accelerated by COVID. I know there's a lot that's changed in the way we do things. I know we've had some online education that has been going on, but now it's more enforced. So what's happened now is most of the jobs that went being done in terms of using tech, now have to positively use it because we can't physically see each other. We can't work in the physical spaces just because of COVID happening. So I was wondering if you would like to maybe talk a bit into the fourth industrial revolution, where we're going with that, the effects of COVID to what's actually currently happening.
Look, fundamentally, I can add my comments as the fourth industrial revolution, which we are a part of and which is going ahead rapidly with the impact of COVID. I try and make it more personal for people to understand what it is that we're trying to achieve, what it's actually about. Put it within the sphere. I'll make it as easy as the fact that we are within, we currently live on Instagram. We've got people that's joined to actually what it is that we are discussing, and hopefully and definitely we are getting a message out there. That is what we're needing to achieve. It becomes the same foundation that we are needing to expand, educate ourselves on other platforms, other means and ways by means of technology. And that was one of the slogans of Honeycomb, being lifestyle meets technology. Everything that we are looking to achieve in this day and age, if I were on my own and I was looking to change something and there was a screw that it couldn't be identified, I could take a picture, I could Google, and get a tutorial that tells me how to do it. That didn't exist, but that is how simple life is becoming. And that is what it is becoming. However, it needs to become more structured. There's the social sphere that is, it becomes the oil and water of life on your survival versus your, call it your needs and your wants. So you're being your oil, the water where it doesn't merge, but it can fit together in a saucepan of some sort. That is what the fourth industrial revolution is. It's utilizing what we've enjoyed here, things that have extended and expanded and given us or enabled, because that is the key word within technology. It enables a platform, it enables to achieve, be it discussion, be it instruction, be it communication. And if anything, COVID has ensured we have stayed connected with people that we need to. There are people that's been alone, there are bachelors out there, and they are able to communicate, they are able to see what's going on in people's lives. Then there's work that needs to happen. I don't know if it was the same with you, but my first week it was, we're supposed to have our scheduled meeting. How are we going to do this? What platform do we have? And then it was Skype, is it Zoom? I can put you on here. Hold on, we found a platform later. And the structure of that is what's going to unfold. We all shop on is the e-commerce platform. So it's been and seen as convenience. I'll put that in the wants factor, and then I'd say it's need. That's how we adjust, and how COVID has allowed people to be educated quicker to become part of what is an industrial revolution.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know from my side, we always did 1 day of the week work from home, and now it's full-time work from home. Most of the times I'm like, I used to cry for this. I wanted to work from home every single day. Now I'm like, I just want to go back to the office. But we still work. We get things done. We have our meetings. We normally have so many of the things that you thought were not possible, like team building sessions. You can do that online. We have online games that we can play with my fellow teammates, questions that you answer, and we play against each other. We still have our normal routine. Fridays we had beer o'clock. We still have that. We just we just have each other on some technology, and we still chat through what's been happening through the week, and we still meet. So life as we know it is actually kind of continuing on the tech side. Because we are allowing it to. I think that's the thing. When you feel hindered and blocked by you can't do anything, we've managed to talk to people that we like. Now we're having an interview now. ideally, I had a bit of interviews lined up, and when COVID happened and I had to stay at home, it was just a case of, oh, so now we're canceling this and we're canceling that. But now we're realizing, because there's no time frame on this, we don't actually know how long this is going to affect us. We've become creative, found other ways, become innovative. People have created apps. People
Mhm.
are doing a lot. There's a lot of creativity and entrepreneurship that's actually growing from this, which is amazing. If anything,
You
it's
can
actually really good.
see that ramp up in industry of where very much face-to-face businesses have changed their strategy and they're needing to jump on really quickly. So you are so right. In the entrepreneurial space, it creates opportunity. And being able to, again, that needs and wants factor, are you are able to socialize, you're able to use platforms of games and, I can open up your mind to the
Mm.
that there might not be the physical touch factor, but we are still here. We are still able to do. We are still able to inspire, and we can do it by video calls. There's WhatsApp calls. They are the simplest forms of communication via technology. So
Mm.
I agree with you, and I don't see it as a hindrance. Besides the fact that it might not be that easy for me with being at home working. It's working at schoolwork. I've become a teacher overnight. I'm sure there's so many people that can relate to that as well. It's
Mm.
become tiresome. However, there are so many benefits thereof as well. On connect, on getting to know them, this being my girls, and parents work with. So I'm getting there. If there was an app that could control them from my space, that would be awesome. So if anyone is
Business idea there, Mush.
Yeah, no. So it's been interesting, hey. And I mean, you share the sentiments. We speak to many people. There are many people that's not much as we are. There are people that do not have disability that we have to be able to sitting on Wi-Fi having discussion. And I
Mm.
think to always be grateful for what we see and what we have, what we're able to learn from, where we are able to. There are many people who are not able to do it. You might be
Yeah.
able to that self-worth and determination to pull yourself out of a situation. But we sit in a world where the platforms that we mention also create elements of depression. Those things are real. They are.
Mm.
And
Mm.
you are in a space where you are able to touch people's hearts. Please messages out there. Be positive, be inspirational, but accept people for who they are. Because that's
Yeah.
one of the things I'm noticing. There's a trend of one more, people that it looks as if everything is butterflies and roses and there's no real change. And then you get your realist who's taking it a bit too hard. So
Mm. Mm.
that like we're supporting each other within technology. I think what COVID is saying, support humanity, and
Yeah.
we do that by means of technology.
Absolutely, Mush. You're absolutely right about that. I know my mom, technology can also be a problem because I know my mom did a lot of research on COVID. And we had a conversation where she was full blown scared, and it takes you into that. There's so much information out there, just trying to sift out exactly what's real and what's not, and everything going on. But the great thing is when we have these conversations, we call her and we tell her, Mom, this is not things, this is not a legit thing that would happen. This, people have created their own content out there, so it's not to say all the content is there that's real to tell the story of what's happening. But I definitely have loved staying connected with my mother, who's in a different country right now. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's all by herself, but it's been great because we get to call her, we get to talk to her as if she's actually this side. We've had my nieces call us into group calls, tech savvy, like at 5 years and 2 years old. We're like, what's happening? But but that's the world we're actually living in. When we need to look towards the positives, even though there's a lot that's going on. I know there is a lot of what you're saying in terms of humanity and us keeping in touch. Sometimes we do need that reality check to actually just know. Sometimes we're in our own bubble with everything that's going on, but yeah, there's been a lot that's been going on out there in terms of other people not having food because the schools used to provide for them and now the schools are closed.
Yeah.
There's
I
been
mean,
a lot in terms.
was chaos. I'm looking at Sam's comment there now in relation to fake news. Myself, again, being a parent, if you look at over the last 2 weeks, information that has been released saying that this is what's happening, this is what the department has decided, these are the limitations, this is how things have changed. And if you look at how over a 2 week period prior to the release that you have, when it's actually addressed by the president and within informed and areas of business, they are confirming the people are losing their mind. They are
Mm,
they're looking at at other countries and they're saying, look, you know what? For us, it's only going to be in November.
mm,
Everything until next year. Those broad statements that impact people where it is their bread and butter and their lifeline. That's what pushes people over the edge because they're
mm,
not sure what to believe. And I mean, lucky for you, you are able to speak to your mom and give her assurance and kind of do that. We need to do that more for everyone. So if they
absolutely.
out there that you it's confirmed, it's fake, please spread the word and make sure that do not believe everything you read. Do not believe everything that you see. This is
Mm,
the I think it's call it the one disappointment that I have with the spike within social media and how things are perceived. Perception versus reality is
mm,
the curve that we still need to balance. And we need to balance it for the sake of humanity. So leading
absolutely.
that, what is fake news? Inquire.
Mm.
Inquire numbers, they are generally emails, or ask around, but don't believe everything that you see. That's one of the strongest messages that I'd like to put out there.
Absolutely, that's good. Hey, I can't take anything or add anything to that. That is absolutely right. So maybe I'm thinking during this time, I wanted to come up with some entrepreneurship ideas and things like that. I know there are people who are probably thinking, they can come up with ideas. Is there a way we can kind of boost entrepreneurship or like encourage people to actually just go out there, start their big businesses and all that jazz? Um, I don't know if you have any kind of encouraging words or advice that you can give people who are actually in that position where they're thinking, okay, now I probably need to start coming up with a business idea because they're actually unable to buy food, to foot their bills. They actually need a way in which they can earn income.
So I think my first bit of advice would be around your passion. Because a
Mm,
lot of that's what's ignored. For something to become successful, if you are passionate about it and it is a need, like you said now, for survival and bread and butter on the table, try it. Try it. And if it does not work, ask around.
mm,
Famous saying, you cannot achieve without failing. That
mm,
failure
mm,
stronger you. So it's not always going to be the first thing that you try that's going to work. Might be okay for 1 day or for 2 days, 3 days. And then there's the reality again. We are within the platform, both for Mandla, both the Aspire Honeycomb network. There's elements like FLC, are things going on within the Neon Hive space where they're vision and building people's factors, building people's strategies from a business perspective. There are so many forums out, and we are currently live saying what? Reach out and ask. There's nothing.
mm,
And I mean, Rumbi, I'm willing to go as far and say that if you have an idea, pop me up. My email address is available on the website. There is
mm.
an you've got the same. We're both available on social media. Maybe
Yes.
let's put it out there and check maybe in 10 days' time if there has been a response. We put something
Mm,
out. What has been your idea? Why have you not started it? That's going to be our first question. So if you
yeah.
do have, my first question is going to be, why have you not started it? And if you are needing to question yourself or looking for advice, ask them what's available because there are
Mm.
many.
Oh, that's absolutely right. So I think that's good because I think most people just have ideas and they never execute them and they just die being ideas. Um, but I think it's great if you take a step forward and try to actually see if that idea can be actioned or it can be tuned in a way that it can actually be something that becomes an amazing business idea. So you'll never know. So there's a question here from Sumila. She's asking, what would be the biggest challenge for the next generation of women in tech, and what are you currently doing to ensure that they have strong role models in the field?
Do you want to answer that, or would you like?
You can go ahead.
Okay, so the thing is, the foundation that we're setting now is the foundation for the future. With learnerships and the fact that we are showing, like with women in, like with STEAM currently, it is the support of women in tech. It's the support of an environment that encourages women to fulfill and pursue their dreams and their goals within the tech space. So that becomes the first thing. The support that exists now did not exist 10 years ago. 10 years time, it's going to be there within a much stronger in a much stronger light. Then there are also institutions that are supporting it as well, whether you look at women like myself, like Rumbi, Sam, whoever is out there within tech, to tell their story. Not always the easy story. It isn't something that just, came overnight. Not always a woman in tech. It's what I evolved to become. And those stories are there to inspire. It's also the encouragement from within the home. So we can be women in tech and we can be standing as cheerleaders and saying, guys, go into tech. That's not what it's about. Do some research.
Yeah.
Try and understand what does tech mean. Tech generally, and I don't know if you, I'm sure it would be impossible that you never came across someone that when you said, no, I'm in IT, sorry, can you use my computer? Perception.
Absolutely.
So educate yourself and get that out there. Do some research, educate, and the one thing that is going to be there for the future females are platforms, Bumandla, platforms of Fire Honeycomb Network, On the Ball College, who ran an amazing event with UCT last year for women in, hosted, what was it, 7,000 young females from schools, yes, for them to understand what it's all about. So if we keep pushing and supporting, we are truly not setting up but a pathway for we become more understanding to what it's about and creating a need where the world around you, COVID right now, is ensuring that if I don't do this, what next? So expand your.
Absolutely. I think the one other thing that I can say in terms of ensuring that they have strong role models, besides what we already spoke about women who are already in tech trying to pull other women up who are getting into tech, I would say highlighting people like you, Mush, other people in IT who are doing amazing things. So it's actually very important to have a mentor. So if you know somebody who's in IT, who's in tech, who's in science, who is in
Yes.
engineering, and that's what you're interested in, maybe approach them. There's no harm in you actually trying to approach them to get them to mentor you, to get them to maybe just tell you what it is about, how you can get involved, where you can learn. There's absolutely no limitation at this point. You can even Google as much as you can about it, and then
Yeah.
just follow up with, I want to get into tech. What roles are there? Because for most people, it's just like, I want to get into tech. There's only programming. No, there's not only programming. There's a whole bunch of roles that are involved in it, that play into whatever your natural strengths are. So if it's understanding what people need, then you could probably be a business analyst, and you don't have to write code. So there's different ways in which you can be involved into tech, and with you to be able to stay strong in this role, I would definitely suggest approaching people that are already in those roles.
100%.
Cool. If
Something from
anyone's
a
got a
sorry, it's just, it is something from again within the network. It is something that we are trying to push between incubation and the learnership, is to ensure that from an SME perspective there are call it little fellowships that we can put in place where there is a mentor that aids you if you sit within a schooling space and you're wanting to understand, and from an SME space just to join it, just to add.
Yeah, I know even for us, we've been in the role for a while, but we also have mentors. I have a mentor, which is great because they come in handy. They also help you kind of look into growing into your role. What other things can I grow into? I think one of the key problems into the next generation is, what do you want to actually become into the role in tech? It's almost like it's a narrow vision. I just want to get into tech, but there's no role path. And I think that's what having a mentor, somebody who's been in that area of tech, can help you with.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have more questions at the moment, but I just wanted to ask, Mush, how are you dealing with having 3 amazing girls and having all these commitments at the moment?
I think it's become much of a muchness. My life has been, Rumbi. My youngest 6, my eldest is 17. So if you look at that gap of, having them and needing to balance what it is that I'm wanting to achieve, I've made them part of the journey. I educate them as to what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, to hope that, we always say, always been from a respect and moral perspective, you'd say that that's what you learn at home. So why not empower? Why not allow for independence? Why not allow for a voice within your home that can lead to their own strength with whatever path my girls choose at some point? Yes, I might say that as eloquently as I did now, but I do find a lot of the time having 3 of them with different personalities and needing to make sure that I have structure and routine. And in a space with being indoors for as long as we have been now, I'll use this example as the nearest one to us now, is the fact that I can't just say routine. I can't do what I would do in the office where my day is planned and 10 o'clock and this and that. We try, but they also suffering. They also have personality. They also have nights where they struggle to sleep. They're going to wake up a little later. Their routines have gone completely out. So I try and be as honest with my girls as possible, and I try to make them a part of my journey. It's the best advice that I have with anyone with kids, and where you are trying to build yourself, do it along with them, because it becomes a foundation and a solid role models. Be that role model for your children, and be it with not just being perfect, mistakes as well. That as well. So that's kind of my balance.
That's good. I think that's very important that they get to see your mistakes as well, because then they don't think that you're perfect and they can't make any mistakes, and they're very afraid to try things because they don't want to make mistakes. But that's good. I like your idea of how you've involved them in your routine. I know for me, one thing that I've learned to do now with everything just shifted around and me working from home, I've also created my own kind of routine, and I think that's what keeps me grounded during this time. I know that I need to wake up at this time, I need to exercise, I need to actually act like I'm going to go to work, so take a shower, get ready, so that when all this ends, I just don't want the biggest shock of my life to just come through. And then, although it still feels it still feels like a normal day, I still have moments when I'm like, oh, I'm at home and now I need to cook my own food, now I need to do this. But then still there is a bit of routine in there in terms of getting things done, and I think that's very important.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got questions, please type those down, and then we can answer those.
We have 2 minutes, hey, with it being Friday for us. It is a holy period that we're entering now of Jumu'ah. So
Okay.
so I can wish my listeners a Jumu'ah Mubarak on that. But by within the next 2 minutes, I'm going to have to love and leave you. And maybe just in that time, I can just say to everyone out there, the encouragement that we need comes from within. If it's something that you feel you need, know that there are people out there that need more, whether it be emotional support, whether it be physical, whether it be financial, whether it be within any sphere. So be grateful with your sphere of where you find yourself, and ensure that you are reaching out there to someone by the smallest gesture of positivity, the smallest gesture of just checking in. Maybe, you know, give yourself a little bit of a what's the word I want to get to? A little bit of a challenge where go through your phone, right? You have people's numbers for reasons. It's either a colleague, it's either a friend, or you know, you've got them listed as to how we call it levels of importance, but how often you speak to them. Choose one of those random people that you maybe haven't touched base with in a while and send them a message. Whether it be it doesn't have to be all fluffy. It can be something that just reminds them that they exist. It reminds them that they have. And I feel if we do that from the inside, being a realist and trying to look in the 360 space of how people can be impacted emotionally, that becomes the biggest element of upliftment that we need to be focusing on right now. So that would be my sanity, a lot of introspection, staying safe, staying indoors, even though we've gone to level 4. Be aware that it's not a party. We still need to be completely conscious of sanity, of keeping covered. And if you do not need to go anywhere, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mush. Those are amazing words that you've just left. You've left us with. And all the best. Happy Ramadan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Mush. And I think for everybody out there, just be kind, just be mindful. People are going through a lot during this time, so just try to be let your humanity shine. Okay, so that's it from us. Yeah, just send us a message if you have any other questions or you want to get in touch. But it's bye from us. Bye.